There it is. It's at the top.
Live.
Hi, we're live. Hi, Megan.
Hi, how are
I was
you? This
going to
is
say happy, and I'm like, what the hell month is it? It's April. Happy April.
April. Yes.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. We've been off duty here a little while,
Yes. It feels like
but
forever.
it does, life has just kind of gotten in the way for both of us. So
Yeah.
your news good, my news not good. What
Yes.
do you want first, the good news or the not good news? Let's
Let's
do the
start
good
with not
news.
good. Oh,
No, I'm like, you
then,
talk about you.
oh, me? Oh,
Yeah, you're
well, I got
busy.
married, had
I
a
got
fun
married.
wedding party.
Yeah.
It's been
Congratulations.
amazing. Thank you. It's so much
Are
fun.
either of you gonna take a name or are you staying?
I'm going to take Miranda's last name, which is Smith. So I'm going to be
Oh,
Megan Smith,
Megan Smith.
Megan Ashley Smith. Miranda
Megan.
says it's like I'm in the witness protection program, like the most generic names that you can
Yeah,
have.
yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love it too.
Did you start all that process? I'm trying to remember because we have our 30th wedding anniversary in July. So it's been a long time that I have had the name that I have and you know, switching. I think you just what with Social Security, maybe?
Yes. So I have to do the Social Security office and the DMV, and then I
Mhm.
have to tell everyone else that like credit cards, bank,
Right,
everything like that. But I
right.
haven't made the appointments yet, but I'm going to. Because Miranda just went back to work, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go by myself, so let's try a time when we can go together.
Yeah, you guys are so cute. Oh, we're starting, like we're getting back to that, like doing stuff together. And
Yeah.
I had that TSA pre-check, and then
Mhm.
I don't know how he signed me up for it too, but he did that clear thing. And so now
Uh,
I have got to go back to the airport again and do that. And I'm like, I'm not sure I want to scan my eyeball.
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm on the fence. Like, I get that it's convenient and, makes it quicker
Yeah.
through the airport and stuff. Not all airports have it, I don't think, but oddly, they have it in Ontario and I don't think they have it in San Diego,
Oh, wow.
but maybe they're getting it.
Kelly,
I don't know.
Kelly said I got engaged also. Woot woot. This year we're getting married. Congratulations,
Yeah, I
Kelly.
saw that. Congratulations. They're like, I don't know. Kelly, do they have common law marriage in Canada? That's a thing in the United States. I think if you're married X amount of years, you're considered married by law stuff, Like I'm trying to fix my chair, but I'm stuck on the carpet. Anyway, so well, that's exciting news for everybody. Love is love is love.
Yes.
How
So
fun.
what's going on with you?
Not much. I have to have surgery again on May 6th. So for those people that thought they were seeing me in Denver, I'm obviously not there. I'm still in California, staying healthy and getting ready for another surgery. And I also had to cancel the Ohio one. So I am so sorry for everyone that thought they were going to see me. And I'm sorry to the organizers and all that stuff. But unfortunately, my breast implants have decided to exit my skin. So they have to be redone. I developed something called capsular contractures. So I just have to have them redone. So
Yeah.
surgery is not bad. It's just like getting breast augmentation or for me, reconstruction. There's a little more involved because I don't have breast there. And then like a 6-week recovery. So it shouldn't be too bad. So that's what we're gearing up for here. But it's
Yeah.
just been like taking a toll on me mentally. I'm so tired of all this stuff. I really am. I've had it. But at least I'm healthy. At least it's not cancer come back, any of that. But through this process, I've had so many weird things come up. Like I went to do the pre-op stuff and my EKG showed I had a heart attack. And so we were freaking out because
Yeah.
the symptoms from this contracture feels like a heart attack. And so it was very confusing. Did I have a heart attack? Did I not? And it was freaking me out. And so I had to go see a cardiologist and thankfully everything was fine. And I did not have a heart attack and there's nothing wrong with my heart, and cleared me for the surgery. And but
Yeah.
those 2 weeks were very stressful,
I
very
bet.
stressful. So, and that was right at Easter. So luckily they got me in really quick to the cardiologist. They got me a quick appointment, and then, but still it was like 2 weeks of just waiting and not knowing what the hell was going on. But
That's so scary.
yeah, I did not like that.
But I'm so glad everything is good with that.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll get this done, and then hopefully they'll be good for 10 years. It's supposed to
Yeah.
last like 10 years, but I was having a lot of pain, and it radiates up into my shoulder and my back,
Hmm.
like up here. And I was like, what is going on? It's hurting in here. And I noticed on this side, like just looking at it, like, oh my God, I can really see the implant. Like I can
Yeah.
see it through my skin. I thought, well, I'll just go get some eyes on it. And I went and saw the plastic surgeon, and they're like, oh, those are coming out. And I'm like, yay, super great. Not what I expected to hear. I just thought he would say, oh, well, your skin is thin, blah, blah, blah. But apparently, when you have radiation, it's more common for this to happen. So hopefully, it doesn't
Mhm.
happen again. They're going to go on the outside of the muscle instead of under the muscle.
Oh, wow.
So she said it does less chance for it to happen again. So we'll
Mhm.
see. We'll see. I just know I cannot not have boobs. I don't, like a lot of people say, just don't get them put back in. Well, I lived that way, in between,
Mhm.
and it was awful. It was a real mind fuck. I did not like it. I did it just, and it's not that I identify like myself by my boobs, but not having boobs, when you look at yourself, it really messes with your head. Like for
Yeah.
me, it did. I don't want to do that. So they're going back in. I'm getting them back in,
Yeah.
but that's my story. It's always about the boobs
Try to
around
do
here.
what works for you. Like maybe other people feel like it's not
Right,
necessary, but
right.
if it's necessary for you, I mean, it's your body. Do what works for you.
Look, I'm advertising for Uline. We spend so much with money with Uline, they give you free gifts. So that's where my Stanley's from, Uline. So what else is new? How's the weather there? We just had a beautiful day finally. It's
It
been
was
rainy
really pretty
and
today.
shitty.
We've had lots of rain recently. And last week for our party, because we had it last Saturday for the wedding party, it was so windy. We paid, all this money to get these flowers done, and then they just kept blowing off the table.
Oh,
But
oh,
it was still nice, and
good.
it's just I'm glad it wasn't raining, and it didn't rain for the wedding either.
Right.
But it was sunny, it was just really windy, and now it's been really pretty today.
Well, good. How's a kitty cat? No, wait,
Good.
I'm sorry. That's
No, we
not good.
have one left.
Right, but I was thinking, like in my head, I was talking about the kitty that you had to say goodbye to.
Oh,
It's
yes.
not, yeah.
Bruce.
Oh,
Yeah,
because I was thinking
that
she
was
was so,
hard. That
yeah,
was hard, but the cat we have left, we thought she'd be lonely without her, but she seems to be doing fine, and
yeah,
she's eating and being super lovey with us, and it's we miss Moose a lot, but she was so old, and I feel like really good about our decision to do it
right,
then
yeah,
because she had her tumors were on her tail, and they were like, this is gross, but they were like so full they were getting ready to pop.
right,
And if they would have popped, she would have been in pain and it would have been bleeding everywhere.
yeah.
So we were like, once she
And you've
started,
been through that already, that was no picnic, right? So it's like,
yeah.
yeah,
So she had her tail amputated. They said it would probably come back. We didn't know when. And then
yeah.
when we found out it was back, it was like back with a vengeance. And um
How long
we
was that between when she had her tail amputated and
it was
it?
almost 2 years.
That's not bad though.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I mean, it was so worth it to do it because we weren't
Yeah,
sure if it was gonna be worth it.
right,
Um, but she started to bite at them a lot, and then that's when we found out that they were back because her fur was covering it, so you can't really tell. But then
right.
there was like more than one tumor, and they were
Oh yeah.
just, she was biting at them all the time. So
Oh,
we called, and the people had to come from Baltimore, so it was a little more expensive because, we're a little bit of ways from Baltimore.
right.
But they were the only ones that could come at that time. And we were
Right.
like, we really want to do this before it gets worse. And
Right.
it was so peaceful. It was so much easier than we,
Wasn't it? Yeah, I tell everybody if you have the option and the financial means to do that at home euthanasia, do it because they make it so beautiful and it's so peaceful and calm and it's not that trauma of going to the vet's office and we've done that twice now and it was just so lovely. It was as lovely as that experience could be, honestly.
I agree. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really nice. For
So
that, it was really nice.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
it was just so much easier than my dog. Like, I guess because Honey was younger and we didn't know, we didn't have as much time to prepare and everything.
Right.
So
Right.
it was
And it
just
was
a
very
lot better.
definitive with Moose. You knew what was coming
Yeah.
down, you know. So
Yeah.
Honey was just sick. You didn't know why, what's wrong, something's
Yeah.
not right, you know. Yeah. Oh. Are you gonna get another one?
No, because we have all the feral cats. So
Right. But I
we're
mean in
gonna
the house.
just, well, some of them come in and out now.
Yeah.
And like, some of them have started to come in a lot more. And Moose hated that. And so now that Moose is gone, they're all coming in the
Oh yeah.
house and in our room. And so we have tons of cats to love on. And
Yeah.
we just feel like I know more need homes. So it's kind of tempting. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't know. It's kind of nice to not have
I
to
know.
clean
I don't
up
mind just
all
having the
the
one,
time.
honestly,
Yeah.
because we keep talking about getting another one. David wants a it's called a British short hair.
Uh-huh.
And they're beautiful cats, but you know, again, it's like you probably should get one from the pound and rescue it rather than, you know,
Yeah.
getting a fancy cat. And pardon me, my nose, you know how this goes. It's just running, running, running. I have to get off everything that I take, like all the over-the-counter stuff for 2 weeks before this surgery. And I was like, wait, what? No melatonin? So no
Oh
sleep patches,
no.
no anything. And I'm like, what about the Afrin? Because I use that every day, you know, and
The
no,
nasal
all
spray stuff.
yep, it all has to
I use that
stop.
every night. I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Oh my
otherwise
gosh.
it's stopped up.
It's already 9:16 and the author's here, so I guess we should
Let's do it.
join with that. We always get on like, well, we go on live at the right time, but we get together so late. I feel like we should do it a little earlier so then it doesn't creep up on us like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to introduce the author. Tonight's author is a New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal bestselling author who lives a happy and content life in a quiet area of Ontario with her beloved husband of 30 plus years and their rescue cat, Amber. I love that name. Nothing means more to her than her friends and family, and she cherishes every moment spent with them. While seriously addicted to coffee and highly challenged with all things computer related and technical, she relishes baking, cooking, and trying new recipes for people to sample. She loves to throw dinner parties and also enjoys traveling here and abroad, but finds coming home is always the best part of any trip. She loves stories, especially paired with a good wine, and enjoys skydiving, in parentheses, free falling over a fleck of dust, extreme snowboarding, falling downstairs, and piloting her own helicopter, tripping over her own feet. She's learned happily ever afters, even bumpy ones, are all in how you tell the story. Please welcome Melanie Moreland.
Ah, I
Hello.
did not. Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes.
I know, I love it. I'm like, I don't know who it is. We haven't done this for a couple months, so we're trying to get back in the groove. Sorry it took us so long to get on. We chat a little while before we get started. So
That's quite fine.
I was
When
trying to
Judy and
figure
I get
out,
together, we chat a lot.
yeah, in your bio, were you serious? You skydive and do all that stuff, or do you mean like tripping? Like,
Tripping. I do
okay,
a lot of tripping.
yes, yeah. And I have been clumsy my whole life. It's not something that just happened when I got older or what, like, dude, I trip on stuff that's not even there.
Yes.
Yeah.
At Christmas, this is how clumsy I am. We did a renovation, and all I was doing was carrying a box. It wasn't even a big box, just a little
Right.
box from point A to B. This foot moved, this foot stayed. And I twisted and something hurt. And I went, oh, no, it's okay. I can move. I'm fine. 3 days later, I'm like, I'm really having trouble. So I went and had an x-ray. I tore the hamstring off the backbone and fractured a bone in my butt with a box. I'm
Dude,
still doing physio on it and it still
oh
hurts to sit.
my gosh.
I'm like, how do I do these things? It was just a little
Wow.
box of books, of course, but
Right.
there
But
you go.
still.
Yeah. No, I've been clumsy all my life. I've got 62 years of experience.
Man, that one takes the cake.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my mom stepped out the door and broke her foot. Like, didn't just stepped on it wrong, it's all it was. And it wasn't like a big down step or anything. It just step and broken.
It's just a talent for some of us.
Yeah. Right. That's a good way to look at it. So you're in Ontario, Canada.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Have you been in Canada your whole life?
Yes, I grew up in the middle of Canada in a prairie town, very flat, called Winnipeg. And
Uh-huh.
then when I got married, we moved to Montreal and then Toronto. And now I'm in a little village called Mount Hope now that I'm retired, or my husband's retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And
Yes.
tell me, you have grown kids at home, grandkids? Where are you at with all that?
We have no kids, but we have between us, we have 14 nieces and nephews
Oh,
and
yeah.
17 great nieces and nephews. And I just had my first great niece.
Oh, wow. How
And
fun.
many of them, they're like our kids. They live
Sure.
close. They're our family.
Yeah. How fun. We're waiting on the grandbabies thing happening. So that's
I
where
let
I'm.
everyone else have those and I get to spoil them.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're looking forward to. And we keep telling the kids, like, you're in big trouble because I know. And my husband's worse than I am, so
Oh
it's going to
dear.
be bad. I know it. I predict it now, but oh, so let's see tell me something that is on your bucket list to do.
Go to Greece.
Greece. Do you travel a lot?
Well, as an author, we travel with all the book
Right.
signings
Right.
and we try and go places that we're interested in seeing, interested
Right.
in going to. But now that my husband retired, which is just a couple months ago, we're trying to plan out longer trips.
Right.
It used to be we'd arrive for the signing Friday afternoon and leave Sunday morning. Now
Right.
we're trying to arrive a couple days before, stay a couple days after. We were just in Charleston and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
lovely and so much history
Oh, yeah.
and normally I'd see none of it.
Right.
I've been to Philadelphia, I think 6 times. I've never seen a thing. My
And
husband's
there's
done
so
all the
much
tours.
history there. Yeah.
Yes. So this year we've planned 3 days in advance and just a couple days after, because I always find after a signing I'm tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Work for big
I
time.
yeah, I don't know why I always think, oh, after a signing we'll do lots of stuff. And all
Right.
I want to do is sleep and go home.
Right. I
So
hear that.
this time we're going before and I get to do the hop on, hop off and go walk through the graveyards and do all the cool
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
he's so yes.
If you ever get to Annapolis, you have to they have a walking tour that you can take, and you listen to headphones because
Right?
for our country, there is so much history there. That was the first capital of the United States before it
Right.
was Washington, D.C. And there's so much history there. It's just so neat. Like you walk into this room, it's still the same place, the exact same building where George Washington surrendered his commission and
Right.
became the president, the first president of our country. And it's like, I get all emotional because I'm very
Right.
patriotic. And so that is the coolest to me. That one, you've got to do it if you ever get a chance to go through Annapolis. It's
Yeah,
really
see, I
neat.
love to do all those things and do the walking tours.
Yeah.
And then you can take your time and see what you want and
Right.
yeah, love
Yeah.
those.
Are
Yes.
you a museum fan?
Yes, I
Yeah.
love museums. I love painting. I love art. My husband worked at the Art Gallery of Ontario for, I think, 16 years.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah.
I saw a lot of beautiful exhibits and he'd have to go down. He had to go to Boston to see how they were setting up a certain exhibit to know how it was being done there. So I
Right.
got to go with him and see that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I love all those things.
I've never been to Boston. I want to go there because, again, so much history for our country. And then I don't know how. I grew up on the East Coast, but I've never been up there. Have you ever been up there, Megan, to Boston?
Yes, I have. It was so pretty. I love it there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is
looks
very
really
pretty.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in other places in New England, but just not there. So
Well, there's something
bucket
for your
list.
bucket
Yeah.
list. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
absolutely. So
but
I
we're still,
understand that you write broody millionaires.
I do lots of angsty, drama, like can't wait to see what they're going to do next and then get really mad at them for doing it. But yeah,
Isn't
and
it fun to be mad at imaginary characters?
it is, and it's my big thing is the happily ever after. I'm not a believer in it, like in the traditional happily ever after. So my stories usually end in ways that make people angry, which I'm sorry, but because I just, it's very hard to wrap everything up with a nice little bow because that, to me, that's not reality, and I know we're escaping reality, which you get plenty of that, but I don't know. I just don't think every couple has to get married and have babies at the end of the story.
No.
So,
Yes.
yeah, but it's fun to torture them on the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you working on right now?
Um, I'm actually working on a broody billionaire.
Yeah.
That will come out in September. I just finished a book that will come out in June. And next week is Waterhouse is releasing the last of my trilogy, the Contract series. Uh,
Right.
so that comes out next week. I'm very excited. Meredith did a beautiful job on the cover.
Yes, the whole series is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes. So I'm very excited to see that. And I'm doing a signing next weekend at Barnes and Noble in Amherst. So that'll be fun. I've never done just a solo signing. So
Right,
a
right.
little nerve-wracking, I hope more
Yeah,
than one person shows up.
right.
Um, and then I hope to start writing for 2025.
I know. Can you believe it? I was thinking that like I've got one more on contract with Waterhouse and then that will come out in December and the one before it that they already have in September. But then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing?" Cuz we're always so far ahead. So,
Well, I said to my PA, oh, I'm going to take 6 months off. She's like, no, you're not.
yeah.
No, you're not. She says, you're going to start writing for 2025.
Yeah.
Like, okay, then.
She's
I'm not
cracking
sure
the
who the
whip.
boss
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not me. It's not me
Yeah.
that's the boss. It's her. So there you go. Yes.
It's good. It keeps you in the chair.
Oh, it certainly does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is Megan on you all the time?
No, she's pretty good. She doesn't harass me too much. She used to ask me the same question about 5 times till she gets an answer, unfortunately, but
That
or do
sounds
you
familiar.
remember this? No, I didn't remember. I know you told me, but I
If
forgot.
Karen doesn't put it in my calendar and remind me 7 times a
Yeah.
day about
Yeah.
something, yeah, absolutely. I
And
don't
I get
know
these
what
little
to do without our
messages like,
PAs.
hi. Like she doesn't say what she wants. She just says hi. And I'm like, I know. I'm not, I know.
Did
I
you
was
remember?
messaging her and she told me, "Oh, I'm the one that has to message her about getting in the shower an hour beforehand, so make sure you include me in the messages." I was like, "Okay, I will."
Yes, always. Karen, if somebody writes and asks me something, my first reaction is, please talk to Karen
Right.
because she knows I'll double I'll double book or I'll
Right.
write something down and I fully intend to tell her. And then
Yep.
2 weeks later, she's like, do you have something to say to me? And I'll be like, I love,
Hi.
I
Yeah.
love you.
Thank you.
She's like, no, are you live somewhere tonight? And I'm like, no. She's like, I think you are.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, did I forget? She's like, did you not put it in the calendar? I'm like, I barely can read the calendar. I don't
Right.
add things because if
Right.
I add, it doesn't work.
Right.
Maybe Google and just does not work.
Yeah. I'm a Mac girl, so I'm lucky because it all just works easily. Although I did manage to screw something up in a big hard way yesterday on my phone and it's still not fixed. I swear I did not touch anything. I just looked at it and now apparently I have my own family sharing account, which I don't want. because I was part of my husband's family sharing account and now I'm not. And so I've got it all messed up and I did not do that. So I keep saying that I didn't press anything. The minute I saw it, I was like, that's not right. And I just went out of the app and now apparently I have an account.
Oh dear.
Frustrates me because I think they did that on purpose. Like they did that. I know the difference if you sign up for something, like you know what you're doing if you're doing that, but I didn't do that. So
Apple's
I,
tricky.
I don't know. So he'll fix it. He always fixes it.
Yeah, I phone Karen.
Yeah.
She just takes over my account and does whatever and makes
Yeah.
it all better. I once took a Google Doc that an author sent me just to do a sign out or to do a drop in.
Yeah.
So I filled it out, click. About 20 minutes later, she called me. She's like, "What did you do to my Google Doc?" I'm
Oh
like,
no.
"I just put my name in." She said, "I
Yeah.
don't know how you did this. You populated the entire document with your name.
Like
You
every line was you?
every She
Well,
said you erased everybody's name.
oh no.
The whole document's gone." And I'm like,
Sorry.
never touch another Google Doc in my life. And I never have. As soon as someone
Wow.
sends me a Google Doc, I'm like, please forward to Karen. I'm not even opening it because I'm afraid of what I'll do. Because I swear to God, all I did was type in Melanie Moreland for 8:15 p.m.
Right.
Whole document.
Wow.
Karen never lets me forget that.
Yeah. Oh, so I have a day job and we all like have these little jokes about things like we've massively screwed up, at work by accident. And mine is I discontinued or disconnected, whatever, the phone service for the whole building.
Oh, that's far worse than a Google Doc.
Yeah. And I was like, I did not, but it was me. I did it. But God, it was a nightmare. And my husband was getting on an airplane to go like do it somewhere. And I was like, I need your help. And he's like, I can't help you. I'm getting on a plane. And yeah, it was bad. So
Oh dear.
that
That's a
was
good
mine.
one.
It was a long time ago, but it was a doozy.
Yes, it was. Good for
Hey,
you.
go big or go home, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my, sorry, my nose. I have allergies and it just
Oh,
like drips on its own.
this time of year must be really bad.
I don't know what I'm allergic to because I didn't have allergies before I had cancer and then I got them after. And it seems like it's not like it's either food related or I don't know what it is. I can't get a grasp on what I'm allergic to because if I knew I would stop it because
Right.
it's a hassle, but it comes on at the weirdest times. And, I think dairy definitely has something to do with it, but I haven't had any dairy today. So I don't know why it's going right now. I don't know.
You
No.
never know.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
ah, so where are you going? You're traveling to where you just told me, Boston?
No,
You go to Boston? You've
um
been to Boston. No, your husband goes to Boston. Oh my God. I am
yes.
listening.
Um where do we go? Oh,
Doing your own signing there in
yeah, I do
Canada.
an own signing in Amherst and then we go to Iowa and then we go to Louisville. The
What's it?
Iowa is just a very little signing, but a friend
Yeah.
of mine runs it and she's been asking me to go for years. And
Yeah.
finally I said, you know what? Matt's retired. We've got the time. Never been to Iowa. I don't mind seeing
Right.
Iowa.
I don't think I've been to Iowa either. Been to
No.
Illinois. I think it's
And then Louisville, and then nothing until the fall when I do Philly.
oh
Philly
yeah,
in Indies Invade Philly is one of my favorite signings.
right. I gotta get into that one. I've never been to that one, and it's in like my hometown, so it'd be
Oh,
good
you
to
should because
that.
the organizers are amazing and take such good care of both the readers and the authors.
Yeah, I hear such good things about that. Everyone, it gets a lot of good hype. So I had two that I just canceled. I was supposed to be in Denver right now, and I guess it's snowing there, so I'm not super sad I'm not there. But and then Ohio, like the following week. But I had to cancel those because I'm having surgery in the beginning of May. And then New Orleans in the end of the summer. So right now that's it.
They
But
they take a lot out of you.
they
The
do.
signings.
They
Yes,
do.
people don't realize how much pre-work there is between pre-orders and packing up your swag and making sure you have everything and then
And
traveling,
getting it there.
getting
Yeah.
there. And you have to be on the whole time. You can't be sad. You can't be
No.
anything but happy because they've paid a lot
No.
of money to come see you and
Yeah.
they don't want to see that
Exactly.
or need to see that.
And it's actually a really good time. So mostly it's like, authentic happiness. It's just,
Yeah,
I always say it's exhausting to be charming.
it is.
It really is. And
Especially,
so,
and it's a long day.
yeah,
It starts early, it ends late, and then there's usually an after thing, or
sure.
I meet readers for dinner or
Yeah.
something. So that's long.
Yeah.
And the day before you're setting up and you're meeting readers and you're doing all that.
Right. Yeah.
By the time Sunday morning rolls around, you're pretty tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got sick, like altitude sickness last year in Denver.
Oh
And
dear.
so it took me like 2 weeks to recover from that when I got home. And so this year with the surgery scheduled so soon after I was like, I have to cancel it. I can't risk getting sick and then having to push this back. And
Yes,
so,
absolutely. You have to
yeah,
look after your health first. And your
yeah,
readers understand that. I'm sure they're
yeah,
disappointed, but
yeah.
they understand that. Last
I
year when I
didn't,
booked Bonanza, I
yeah,
was a wreck for a week after. It was so massive. It
yeah.
was crazy.
And that is done now, right? They're doing the last one this year. That was
I think
the
the last one is this year, and then
yeah.
they're done. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure her plate is so full. That's a busy woman right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I left the signing about, I think it was over at 6, Colleen was still signing, and she signed until 10:30 that
Oh
night.
my God.
She refused to leave until everybody saw her. I mean, it
Yeah.
was wonderful, but she ended up in the hospital the next day.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But she pushed it right out for them, which was lovely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I met her very
Yeah.
briefly, very tongue-tied.
Yeah. And I met her a long time ago, long, long time ago when being an indie author was just happening, for people. And she did a presentation, like about going independent. It was just so funny. It was that long ago. And also, do you know who Rachel Hollis is?
Yeah.
She was in that same presentation. And I'm thinking, this is so crazy now, like where her life went after all of that, and it's like, I met her when nobody knew who she was.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was so
Yes.
funny. But I feel like we were in Dallas, maybe.
Okay.
RT was in Dallas that year, and I
Okay.
think that's where that was, but it was so long ago. So have you been to any of the rare signings?
I was in the London one a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Those are huge too.
Yeah,
London, I mean, London is just overwhelming in itself.
right.
Um, so I did the London, and I've been invited other years. It just hasn't been the right time.
Right, right.
Oh, there's a kitty.
Yeah. We're all kitty fans here.
Yeah, she
That's
just
our
wanted to
fluffy
be
cat.
part.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm surprised mine's not begging at the door. He normally is wanting to
see,
be right in the middle of it all.
mine is the most skittish cat I have ever had.
Yeah.
She'll sit in the hallway, but she won't come in.
Oh,
Yeah, she was a stray that was rescued,
yeah.
and we got her. We didn't see her for 3 weeks when we brought her home.
Yeah.
The only way we knew there was a cat in the house is the kibble dish
Yeah.
empty.
Kept empty.
And
Yeah.
one day I was sitting on the couch and she suddenly appeared, and I was like, "Oh, look how pretty." I was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do. Do I touch her? Do I?"
Right.
So I
Right.
gave her a little head rub and she started to purr, and then we were fine after that, but she's very skittish. So,
Yeah.
oh, look. What's the
It's so
cat's
funny.
name?
Megan, we have not seen this cat ever on camera when Moose
This
was
is
around.
this is one of the outdoor indoor ones. I was telling you, they're feral, but they've all started to become more friendly. His
Yeah.
name is Jumbles. He's beautiful.
He's
Yeah.
beautiful.
He is kind of an idiot. He'll fall off the cat tree like 3 times a night, but it's so cute and we just love him so much. But he never jumps on my desk, so it's like he knows something's going on.
He's like, people will like me.
So fluffy.
Yeah, he is. He's so
Absolutely.
cute.
If we get another one, it's gonna have hair because I have a Sphinx, and so the naked guy,
Yes.
and I don't know. We're looking at another one. We keep going back and forth. Do we do it? Do we not? Do we do it? But honestly, I'm enjoying just the work of the one because I'm the one that has to deal with it all. The box and the food and ah.
Yeah, the
So
more cats you get, it's amazing how quickly the work adds up.
yeah. We had 4 at one time, and that was brutal. I had 2
That,
boxes going, and
yes, that would
constantly.
be a constant job. Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot, but you know. They were awesome. I wouldn't not do it again if it just happened that way. We just ended up, they kind of came into our life. That's usually how we get them, like we wait for them to find us.
Right.
And then, yeah,
And
we're
how many
suckers for
cats do you
keeping them.
have, Megan?
Oh my gosh, I have one indoor cat and then probably 12 outdoor cats that are because we live on a big property, so we've trapped and fixed them all, and in that process, some of them have started to become like indoor outdoor cats. So at any time there will be like 4 to 5 cats in the house and they go in and out, but I have my one indoor cat who's never been out. Her name's Betty. So we have one that's like always in the house with us and in our room and sleeping with us. And then just a rotating door of cats coming in and out throughout the day.
I love that. So do I. I'd be fine with that.
Amazing.
They're very fun. I mean, they're entertaining. They make us laugh all the time. And they mostly go to the bathroom outside. So we don't deal with, a crazy litter box. We only have one right now.
Right.
So that's really nice.
Do they ever use the litter box, the outdoor ones?
Sometimes if they're like stuck inside overnight, then they will, but a lot of times they'll wait or they'll meow at the door to go out. They're
Yeah.
like little puppies.
How
Well, and
interesting.
that's what they're used to, right? So
Yeah.
that's seems more natural to them.
I've never
Yeah.
had an outdoor cat. Well, because where I live, coyotes would eat them in a day. They'd be gone.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. So,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
Megan, do we have questions from our viewers?
we do. Okay, so this is one we always get, but I want you to answer it anyway. April wants to know, Melanie, what kind of books do you write, and where would you begin to start if you're a first-time reader?
I'm a mood writer. So I write angsty books, I write rom-coms, I write mafia, I write silly books. It just depends what strikes me. If you're going to start anywhere, I would start with The Contract. That sort of starts off its own series, which bleeds into another series. If you like funny books, I would go with just a second, let me grab one. Oh, fall off the chair. See?
I was going to say, do not fall.
Almost went.
Not on my watch.
This one came out last year, My Favorite Kidnapper. It was supposed to be a very dark, angsty book because my PA said to me, I need you to write me a dark kidnapping book. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm Canadian. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
So I started writing it and I went, oh, this is not going to be dark. This is going to be tongue-in-cheek kidnapping.
Right.
He's an eccentric billionaire because they all are.
Right.
She's a baker. He tastes one of her cakes and he falls in love with the cake and he wants her to bake him cakes. She says no. So he does what all billionaires would do and kidnaps her and takes her to Italy
And makes her bake for him.
bake him for 60 days. She has to bake
Yeah.
him a cake a day. And
Oh
then
my-
she could go home. But of course they fall in love and there's all sorts of stuff. But it's absolutely over the top silly. So if that's the kind of book you like, I recommend that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But otherwise I'd start with a contract and go from there. And on my website and at the back of the book is a family tree and it tells you where to go next when you're reading the books.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you need it sometimes.
Yeah. It keeps it all
I
straight.
need it sometimes.
Yeah. Or you're like, do we know these characters? This sounds familiar.
I don't know how often someone says something. I'm like, well, who the hell is that?
Right.
And then I look and I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so's kid. Okay. After 50 books, you forget.
Yeah.
That's a lot of names to
Yeah.
keep in your head.
Yeah. And a lot of stories and subplots and all that other
Plots and who had what babies.
little jokes.
Exactly.
Well, my thing, and I do this to Amy all the time, she'll say something and I'm like, did I write that?
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, those are your words. And I'm like,
Yes.
that is good. Cause she'll be like, I love this part. And I'm like, is that mine? And I'm like, that is good. I like that.
I
I
did
get
good on
this
that.
weird thing when I write, I don't remember writing it. Like I get lost in it, and then I'll read it later and I'm like, ooh, that's good. Like I have no memory of it. It's just, I don't know. I
Well, you're
really
so in
tried
the
it.
moment and you're
Yeah.
so into the story, the words just come out.
Yeah.
And later on, when you reread, you're like, oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Or parts where do you ever do this? Like you're struggling and you're like, this sounds like shit. And you just keep looking at it. And then later you read it again, like, after it's published and everything, you're like, there is nothing wrong with this story. Why was I killing myself over this? Like,
I,
really,
I think about 40,000 words into every book. I start going, I have
what the hell's
nothing to
going
say,
on?
and this is shit. And no
Yep.
one's going to buy this. And I'm
Yep.
just going to stop writing.
Yep.
And then, okay, I got to finish it. So I'll finish
Yep.
it. And then when my beta readers read it and they're like, this is amazing. And I'm like, oh, really? It's not shit.
Yeah. No, mine is, I get to that same point and I go, what the hell is happening? What am I even doing here? Yeah. Then I have to go back to the beginning and read it. And then,
Yes.
okay,
You got to
now
hear their voices.
every single time I get to that point.
Well, it's nice to know somebody else does that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all do it in some version of it because I've talked to other people. Well, I do this all the time, this interview thing, and you hear it a lot.
Yes.
The doubt will never go away. I don't know how it just doesn't, but maybe it's good. It keeps us, focused and honest and
Yep.
trying hard and yeah.
Yeah. Searching down for the right words and the right
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah. You don't want to be like cocky and think, of course it's good,
Yeah.
and so all right, Megan.
Okay, for both of you, who is your favorite couple that you've written?
Oh, these are hard ones.
Like picking kids.
I know. Yeah.
Probably Richard and Katie in the contract. Because they changed my life. And people love them. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah. I probably like my first gut answer is Mac and Taylor because I just had a soft spot for him in such a big way. But I do love Grant and Rio too. So it's a toss up between those four.
There you go. Sometimes it's hard to pick a favorite.
Right. And it changes too.
Well, it does because you fall in love with the characters you're writing right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I must say Dante and Brianna from My Favorite Kidnapper are a favorite on a whole different level.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're your favorite for different reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Grant and Rio are my favorite of yours also.
Aw.
Okay, so Victoria, what are you working on now?
I am working on the last book in the Bombshells of Brentwood standalone collection, and it is Courting Clemson. So it's sister number 5 of the Farsi girls, and that's what I'm writing right now. And I have Shepard's book is in edit, so I'm anxious to get those back and see what Mr. Scott thinks of the story and go from there. It never fails. I'll get deep into the one I'm working on, and that's when I'll get edits back, and I have to stop. It's like grinding gears and get the edits done, and then go back and yeah. So I've tried. I'm like, I don't really want to get too deep into it before I have to do the surgery, and then have a period of time where I'm not working. So I don't know. I don't know how long it'll be till the typing thing, because I remember having this done before and typing was impossible. So we'll see what happens. I could dictate.
Are you able to dictate?
I can do it. I've done it, not for like a whole book or anything. I'll do it for, sprints and stuff, but not consistently. But it may have to be an option just to keep, moving forward.
Right.
Depending on this recovery. I don't think the recovery will be long, but I don't really, I can't lose 6 weeks of no words. So see
Set the
how it
wrong
goes.
time.
Yeah.
When I hear my voice, I start to laugh, or
Yeah.
I'm an out loud thinker. So as I'm writing something, I'll say, oh, well, that was shit. So, across the
Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
comes, oh, that was shit.
Yeah.
And delete, 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 delete.
Or your husband walks in and starts, and I'm like,
Yeah.
stop, and till he figures out what I'm saying, I've got a whole,
Yes.
comment thread going there from him. So I find when I write though, I take a lot of pauses thinking about either the right word choice or is that what and so when you're dictating, it's, I don't know, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's just that
No,
because
some
there's so
people seem to
much
have great light.
thinking going on.
Yes. Some people have great luck with it and say they
Oh
write
yeah,
faster with it. I find I write far slower
right.
because of pauses and thinking and
Yeah.
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 Or
I think
saying,
you have to
that
train
was
yourself at it. You know what I mean? You have to really train at getting that to be your process rather than typing. And for those of us who have been typing for so long, that's just the easier way to go. So,
feels the most comfortable for me.
I love dictating conversations, especially arguments, because you get that boom, 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 but back, and I'll go back and punctuate later
Yes.
to get the words down and get all the thoughts about, because conversations in real life are rapid fire. It's not like, okay, pause, you know, and so I like doing arguments, definitely dictating.
I'll try that. I never thought of that. You're right.
Okay, this one's for both of you. What do you like as far as tropes, not just for writing, but also for reading?
My favorite reading trope is romantic, historical romance because
Oh,
it's so different from what I write.
yeah.
I tend to stick to that or science fiction. I don't read a lot of other things because I find myself comparing or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are my two favorites.
I'm a sucker for age gap. It's getting like more even as I get older because I'm like, there's nothing wrong with a 50-plus-year-old woman, I've got a lot of life in me yet, and so I like an age gap.
There you go.
I love a good age gap. Okay, I think this is the last question, then we can go into giveaways.
All right.
Trina wants to know, Melanie, any chance of a crossover for the Men of the Falls and one of your other books? Maybe one of the Bam Boys at the casino?
No,
No.
Trina's one of my oldest fans, so she'll get that. No, there's a chance of maybe another book in the falls, but not a crossover. That'll make sense to them.
Yeah. Has she heard that answer before?
You probably have the same thing. You have readers who read something in this book and something in this book and decide they'd be a great couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless I'm feeling it as I'm writing it, it's
Sure.
probably not going to happen.
Right.
I'm not very good when someone says to me, you need to write this and gives me a whole scenario. It's like my brain shuts down and automatically I will never write that.
And
I
how many
can't.
times as an author, it's countless. Do people come up and say, I have a great idea for a story for you? And my answer is always the exact same thing. You should write that.
That. Exactly.
Because that's your idea. I'm not going to go
Yes.
write it.
No, I can't. My ideas come to me at the oddest times, and those are the ones I glob onto. But when someone says to me, oh, yeah, I've got a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is a great idea, and you should write it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, one of the biggest culprits of it is my husband. And
Oh,
he's
dear.
like, you don't write anything I ever tell you, or are you going to do that idea? And I'm like, I don't really think that's going to resonate with my readers, like that's not what they're tuning in for, but there's some good ideas in there, because he doesn't read romance, so he's not like super in touch with the genre,
Right.
so
That's
like,
so cute.
yeah.
Okay, another question came in, and also Becky says she can't wait to meet you, Melanie, at your signing next weekend. Okay, for both of
Two
you,
people going to be there, my husband and Becky. Great. Okay.
do you prefer to write series or standalone?
series for me. Easy series.
I kind of like series too. It there's something about introducing the new characters and starting to hear their stories as you're
Yeah.
doing it,
Yeah.
and then being able to bring the characters from book one
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
When I first started writing, I thought I'd never write a series. I'd never be able to do that. And then I wrote the vested interest series and sort of got the bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm way too long-winded. This has been hard for me, these standalones that I'm working on right now. It's been a challenge. Like by the third one, I think I got it down better, but I know like on the first one, I left people unhappy because of the way it ended. I thought it was fine. Apparently it wasn't satisfying as an ending. Yeah, okay. Now, but by the time you get that feedback, the second one's already gone. I can't even touch it. So I'm like, I was working on the third one, like, okay, I've got to be better about the way I wrap this up, because it was like an overall, like overwhelming opinion. Like, you left us hanging. Well, that's okay. Like, use your imagination. I don't know what to say, but so I definitely like a series better.
Yes. And it gives you a chance to maybe tighten up or finish some ends you didn't think of.
Right,
It's
right.
amazing what readers find when they read and they ask you a question and I go,
No.
I never thought of that. Or I didn't even pick up on that.
Or
And
or
I wrote it.
the smallest little details. Did he like the dinner she made? I don't know. Like, I don't
He ate
know.
it.
Yeah, that was not the point of that scene.
No.
He missed the mark, apparently.
It was not Master Chef.
Yeah, so funny. Oh,
Melanie, Karen said, hey, I will be there. So you have 3 people at least,
Three
right?
people. There we go.
I'm sure there will be plenty of people there.
I bet there will be.
What do you both want to do for giveaways tonight?
Ma'am?
Karen didn't tell me about that. So I have to figure out the giveaway and she has to take care of it.
Well, you can just say a book that of your choice for whoever the winner is.
Oh, I think I'd like to give away a contract.
All right.
Yes. It's been so long since I had to do a giveaway. Karen does them all.
Yeah.
Do they have to like my page or something? They don't even do that anymore.
No. So they'll pick, my PA will pick a winner from the people that have been attending tonight and commenting.
Perfect. And I will send out a personalized copy of the contract.
Awesome.
Karen can pick out the thing.
These bad boys.
Very pretty.
Beautiful.
That was Meredith. I think she was
She
on
does
fire.
beautiful covers.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amy picked the winners tonight. Thank you, Amy. And for Victoria, it's Trina. And for Melanie, it's Kelly.
All right.
So Amy will be in touch, and then Melanie, or we'll get your PA the information.
Yes. Yes, and I will send it when I'm down in the States next weekend.
Nice. That's smart. Then you don't have all that extra postage.
Oh my God. For me to send a book from
Canada
here is like $20.
Yeah.
And down in the States, and we're 45 minutes. We're just outside of Niagara Falls.
Right.
So we're 45 minutes from the border. So we pop down and have lunch, send some books. It's always fun. Yeah.
Right. That's a smart idea.
Yes.
But even now within the States now, sending one of those small boxes, I typically do those one rate boxes. It's $10 now. It used to be 7, now it's 10.
Wow.
We don't have the boxes in Canada.
Yeah. Well, I've gone to bubble mailers. I've gone back to bubble mailers now because it's like, well, that used to be cheaper and now it's not. And it sounds like, oh, you're penny pinching, but when you're sending out a lot of shit, it adds up really fast.
It adds up very quickly.
Yeah.
Did you
I enjoyed chatting with you.
I enjoyed chatting with you.
This is our first meeting, I think.
Yes, it is. And hopefully maybe I'll see you at Indies sometime.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta find out about that. Like, get on that roster.
They, Jennifer and Holly really do put on an amazing event. And the ratio between readers and authors is right every year. So every reader can see their authors they want to see. The
Right.
room is big enough that the lines aren't, oh my God,
Right.
you can't move. People can still move.
Yeah.
And it's always such an upbeat event.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'll have to reach out to them and see if they have a spot for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell them I sent you.
I will.
And
I'm
that's the
gonna
one in
eat.
Philly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not very far from me. I could go. I could go with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I'd
There you
like that.
go.
Everyone's saying good luck on your surgery, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Wishing you
Thank you.
lots of good wishes and quick recovery.
I appreciate it. I'm so tired of it, y'all. I'm done. This better be the last one.
God, it's not fun. Medical stuff is not fun.
So anyway, we'll keep you posted on how it goes. It shouldn't be long, in and out, send me home. So I appreciate the well wishes.
Thanks for having me on.
My
Thanks for
pleasure.
joining us. We'll see you guys next month. We're working on next month, so
Yeah,
hopefully we'll be
we're
without
done with our
trouble.
hiatus.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
everyone.